Good afternoon. Our next speaker is on a mission to help sales and leadership professionals to find prosperity by eliminating the noise in their lives, and I think we all have a lot of noise. Today she is here to talk about living in a disco world. Get on your feet, show your best disco moves, and welcome Christie Walters.
Well, there was audio and
Stay alive, stay
yeah,
alive.
that's a thank you.
It's just
Tell her.
stay alive, stay alive.
I love it. All right, so there is disco music at the very beginning of the presentation, I do promise. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. I'm honored. So I want to talk to you today about living in a disco world. And I am not here to lead a disco dance party. I know, it's like, oh, kind of disappointing. I actually want to talk to you about living in a disconnected world. So how could we possibly be disconnected? I've got a computer in my pocket. We have a window into every corner of the world. And my third grade best friend likes every video I put on Facebook. You feel pretty connected, right? But in reality, a lot of us are walking around feeling connected with the illusion of connection, but we are truly disconnected from our world, disconnected from the people around us. Oftentimes we're disconnected from the thing that we were placed on this earth to do in the first place. So I did some research, and I came across some interesting statistics. The average American worker is interrupted 160 times a day. Do I have any math geeks in the audience? Anyone know what that equates to?
20 times an hour, probably.
Roughly 3 minutes and on any one task is how much attention we typically can give it. 3 minutes. I don't know about you guys, but my task list doesn't have a lot of 3-minute tasks on it. Which is why it grows and grows and grows and grows. Even more surprising, 44% of the time, we do it to ourselves. We create the interruption. You're working, ding, oh, someone needs me, right? I have to go, there is a problem somewhere that I must fix. I am needed. But in reality, you're not getting the things done that you need to get done on a day-to-day basis. So I was thinking about this over the holidays. And I have a fairly small family. It's just my sister and myself and my mom and dad. And then we have our families as well. But we love to play games. Anyone else from a game-playing family? Yeah. So it is all about who can come up with the best game this year. We play Christmas bingo. We do minute-to-win-it games. The louder you can make the kids squeal, the better off you are, right? So I'm at Toys R Us, and I'm thinking, I've got to find something different this year. I feel like I've been through all the minute-to-win-it games I can find. And so I come across this game called the Hearing Things game. Anyone ever heard of this? So the way the Hearing Things game works is it is a lip reading challenge game. So you have what they call noise canceling headphones that you put on your ears, and your partner reads a card that has a saying on it. And it is your job to try and figure out what they're saying. Now, these headphones are interesting because they're not noise-canceling headphones. They are noise-creating headphones. So there is this barrage of noise that sounds like the cross between a subway station and a bar, very loud bar. It's the most annoying thing I've ever heard. I'm like, gosh, couldn't you have piped in some music or something? But it's just these random sounds that are basically just distracting your brain so that you can't possibly hear what's going on across the table with your partner. And of course, with two little ones, these are my nieces, Maddie and Marley. They are sassy and precocious and the most fun-loving things I have ever met in my life. And so they are sitting across the table, and it goes from, this hat is too big for my head, and my niece is yelling, the tuba bit my hand. So it was hysterical. They had a blast playing the game. And we didn't play it very long because we weren't that good at it, but I thought later, how interesting of a metaphor for life. We think about distraction. How many of us are walking around with noise-creating headphones, listening to a barrage of nonsensical sounds, rather than the people that are sitting right across the table from us? I've run across this with clients all the time. They are so busy. They are just buried by everything they're doing on a day-to-day basis that they've stopped connecting with family. They've stopped connecting with clients. And oh, surprise, their business has stopped growing. Because they're following all of this nonsensical sound that they're hearing in their headphones. Now, I can relate to this because I am a recovering busy addict. Hello, everyone. My name is Christy. I am a recovering busy addict. And I grew up with two parents who are just phenomenal human beings. My dad's probably the hardest working man on the planet. Even in retirement, he is still the hardest working man on the planet. And he taught me very early on, don't ever let anyone depend on you and you not show up. Now, my father understood what that really meant. That meant be committed to the things that you're going to do on this earth. And when you say you're going to be there, be there. What I heard was, yes, say yes. Always be there, say yes. And so then I sought to create this life of busy. And a good friend of mine once told me that busy stands for because you said yes. Right? Yeah, I have some smart friends. You might have heard that in this room, in fact. So here I was, super addicted to being busy. And in my corporate world, or my corporate life, it was easy to have that feel productive. I still got my paycheck. People liked me. I was always there for them. When I started my business, it became really clear to me that busy or busyness did not equate to business. In fact, if I wasn't careful, I was following all of the distractions and nonsensical sounds in my headphones. And I could waste an entire day or an entire week incredibly busy and never making any progress whatsoever. So I help people counteract this concept of noise that directs our lives in 100 different directions. And I've found that there are 3 key elements that come into play in helping someone get past this idea or addiction to being busy. And I like to put them in the concept of a mixtape. Because I think life is a little bit like a mixtape. Now, for those of you under the age of 40, is there anybody here? Okay. All right, so a mixtape is kind of like a playlist. It's something that those of us who are a little bit older used to do for special people in our lives, or maybe for a road trip. But you created a mixtape to celebrate something. Celebrate a relationship, celebrate friendship, create a mixtape for graduations, spring break. There was always a theme, and I think that's the first thing that I talk about with clients, is pick your theme. You can think of this as your purpose on this earth, because if you don't have a destination in mind, then it's going to be really easy to follow those nonsensical sounds all over. So first, pick a theme. What's the theme of your mixtape? And second, make a conscious choice of the songs that you put on that mixtape. You didn't put songs on your road trip mixtape simply because so-and-so said they liked it. You put songs on your road trip mixtape because they made you feel like having an adventure. Finding something new, being excited. If you were making a mixtape for a boyfriend or girlfriend, there might be some slow songs in there, right? A little Marvin Gaye, little good groove going. But you had to make a conscious choice based on the theme of your mixtape of the songs that you're going to put on that tape. And you really dove deep. How many of you guys made mixtapes when you were younger? Yeah? Okay. Did you choose songs lightly?
No.
No. Listed out the lyrics. The title says one thing. Do the lyrics say what I want them to say? You were paying attention to it all the way down. You wanted to make sure the right message was sent. So my first thought is pick your theme. And my second is choose your songs. Make a conscious choice of the songs that you're going to put on that mixtape. And then my final suggestion to clients is put a little party tune at the end. Beastie Boys kind of gets your heart rate going, like a little Metallica, like a little disco. Find what that kind of party song is going to be and embrace it. So pick your theme, make a conscious choice of what goes on that mixtape, and throw in a little party. And if you approach your life that way, then I think what you'll find is that instead of listening to nonsensical sounds, you'll truly have a playlist or a mixtape that will inspire you. And I hope that if you follow this approach, that when you talk about living in a disco world, that it will truly be because you're throwing a disco party and not because you're telling a story about being disconnected. That went way over, and I kind of like, so. Excellent. Are we recording?
Yeah. I didn't want to stop you.
I think it was 15.
13. Yeah, 13:58 is what I have.
Yep.
Okay, well done, Sherry.
Christie.
Christie, so let me write the right name on that.
That's okay,
Who is Sherry?
Sherry
Sherry went
before
tell us.
dancing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew there was a Sherry.
good. You were close.
First of all, I like the way you threaded the needle and that you pulled back to the living in a disco world at the end.
Yeah.
You know, so you opened with it and you closed with it, and that to me, allows you to insert the needle here, and then at the end you pull it up and it makes a nice little package.
Yeah.
I love that. Great eye contact again. with you. Everybody here today had great eye contact. I'm wondering, and I'll just say this, okay? It's easy to see in others things that you don't do yourself or do yourself, you know, and you say this, like, I wonder how many times I say, I did some research, but as I heard you say that, I'm wondering if it's not more engaging to say, did you know?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You know, to
Yeah.
draw the crowd in.
And I
to-
have gotten some feedback on that before, yeah, thank you.
You know, rather than, I know, you know, here's what I know that you, did you know? Were you aware? Have you seen this? Because again, that's inviting people in rather than me being the
Yeah.
illustrious expert. On your slides, I love the statistics you had. As a matter of fact, I was writing those down to look them up. I would encourage perhaps and when I do this, I put it in very smaller print, so it's there for the digital or, you know, the handout, but not so much, but the source
Oh,
of
got
that
it, yeah.
160
right.
interruptions.
Yeah.
Because there are some people in the audience,
Yeah, they facts,
where'd they
yeah.
get, you know,
Yeah.
they want to fact check you.
Yeah, sure.
So if you just include that, even, it doesn't have to be big enough to read, but it just says source, and then, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There is a source, they can go check that if they want to. And then there's something else that I'm going to say that's for you, but it's for everybody, so I'm just going to save that for what I share in a few minutes. So, well done. Obviously it wasn't your first time doing this either, and you've told us that.
Yeah, so I changed a portion of it, and I'm not sure if I like it yet, so, yeah, so who's next?
I liked it so much, I actually want a copy of it so I can go back and remind myself of what you talk about.
Oh,
Just because, I don't know,
know.
it was just really helpful. Because I do that so much, and just how to say no, and
Yeah,
what are we really focusing, it's really about focus in one's
it
life
is.
to attain your purpose, and I love that subject.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. This is probably simple, but I like not seeing a slide up there all the time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you intentionally turn off the slide,
So I actually have,
and I like that.
you'll notice, I take a thing from the Bill Nixon playbook, so I put a dot in the corner so that I know that I haven't lost my slides, but that way it's blank.
Just a blank slide.
I just like
Oh,
that.
that is good.
I'm focused on you, not
Yep.
going back and forth to the slide.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, and I love like big visual slides too, so I think it was hard for me to like always have something big and bold back there, so.
Yeah, but it brought me back to you,
Yeah.
not distracted,
Yep,
right,
Yeah.
by what you know, I was
Yeah.
focused on what you're talking about, not between
Yes.
the two,
yeah.
so, thank you.
I like that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Great stats. Loved all your stats. Your paces and your pace and your pauses were fabulous. And when you would just take time to breathe,
Yeah.
you're kind of exampling what you're talking about. And you know, being in entertainment my whole life, like you took time to breathe, but I didn't think you were trying to figure out what your next line
Oh, that's good, thank you.
Because you can see, you know, you can see that. It's very obvious when somebody's like, oh, what's my next line? So I love that. Busy addict, loved it. Busyness does not does not equate to business. Loved that. Some of those lines can be
Yeah.
even more standout. You can
Yeah.
set that up so that sticks because those are so great. Any chance you could use sound and songs more? Sound, like when you're telling us about the sound that the
Yeah.
headphone makes, I want to hear it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then also two songs playing at once when you're talking about busyness does not equal to business. It's kind of like when you play 2 or 3 songs at once, click.
Yeah,
Could you possibly get anything done with that kind of racket going on?
yeah, I like
You know,
that.
something like that. Include a slide for Gen Xers. Yeah, I really think it would be good, instead of saying, you're not saying playlist, what's the other thing you're saying?
Mixtape?
Mixtape. So mixtape is a little bit more challenging on the ear. I would love it if you just transitioned right into playlists, and then you could use it as a humorous thing, meaning, click, does anyone know what a any 40-year-olds know what a mixtape is? Okay, so playlist, and go right to playlist and then just say playlist. Because even non-Gen Xers, we all have playlists now.
Yeah,
We don't
right.
always mix- So be contemporary. You
Okay.
are contemporary, so move right into that. It's good for
But
humor.
she's talking about disco though, which gives it to a different era automatically. So that's why mixtape made sense in that context.
And
No,
a mixtape
but-
were different than I mean, the intention of a mixtape was different than.
That's kind of what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. Yeah, and I think and that's part of the reason I kind of did that little transition is to try and make sure it's multi-generational. But the mixtape element had a different meaning for us than a playlist does. Does that make sense?
I think
Maybe
I don't know
set
if
it
that's
up a
true.
little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure it
I don't know
came
that.
first.
I don't think they would
say that.
My
Okay.
playlist is like a workout playlist or a run playlist, and they're chosen with intention.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so.
But the thing that is
But I like
true,
the old mixtape thing.
Yeah.
yeah, and the thing that's true about the difference is you want to make a playlist, you go ding ding. You make a mixtape, that is.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of work
That's a
involved.
lot of-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you had to go buy the
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
You didn't even have the record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Like I listen to records at home, so
But
yes,
you could
I'm old school.
Yeah, but records are back now, so
That's right. So I'm cool.
yeah, retro cool.
I'm sorry, Kelly. Anything else?
Make the last line disco party and not the qualifying line. Let the last line be disco party.
Okay.
Like, so end on an up. You
So
you have
switch
two
them?
lines of, yeah, just switch
Okay.
those two. And maybe play Celebrate Good Times as you're going out.
Oh,
So
that's
Disco
a good
Inferno is my
Okay,
song,
okay,
and so
great.
it's Burn Baby Burn. and-
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So it is there. It's
Well,
just
what,
for some
your
reason it
third
didn't-
point though is add a party song, so
Yeah.
burn, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, Celebrate Good Times.
Yes.
Celebrate
That's
Good Times.
great, yeah.
And actually, my third line was supposed to be give yourself space to blow it out.
Ah.
That was
yeah,
supposed to be
yeah,
my
okay.
third line. I
Yeah,
messed it
yeah,
up. So yeah.
Christy, can I say one thing
Yeah.
about when you said, give, I hope, when you just said I hope at the end, I was like, oh, can you just give out the I hope? Because you know, if people do this,
Okay.
that their life is gonna change. When
Yeah.
you say I hope,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like, oh
that's-
yeah, well, whatever, maybe I won't do it. But when you are, because you're very definitive, right? So,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that happened there at the end because you slid briefly into a moment of this is what you should do, and your whole talk is so beautifully woven that you're never in that this is what you should do. I think that's part of what distinguishes your talk as really high quality. But when you came into your summary, when you watch it, I think you'll see it. And it's such an easy thing for all of us to do that you start to say, so I'm summarizing now and this is what you should do.
Yeah.
So I think I'm saying I hope because I want to minimize the fact that I'm saying this is what you should do a little bit. So I think that's like so easy to fix just by staying up here. And the humor that Keller mentioned, I think at the end is part of the way to do it. Sort of like if you'll do these three things, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Celebrate
I
good
know
times,
it'll
or,
be. Yeah.
you know, you'll be burn baby burn or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
So you can still get your points, do your summary, but not have it momentarily slide into I'm an expert in telling you what you should
Right.
do.
Right.
One of the lines you said that, first of all, fantastic, incredible delivery, the pacing, the everything. You know, it doesn't feel so good to just be held like that. I'm going to take you somewhere. I'm going to tell you some stuff. And you're creative, and there's stories and visuals. It's just great. But the line that I heard this time that I liked so much, the thing we were placed on this earth to do.
Yeah.
That was so big and so profound that like your whole talk is about being intentional and what are you putting on your mixtape. And I think it didn't get enough attention. It should be bigger because that's the payoff of the entire talk. It's that you'll be able to do the thing that you were placed on the earth to do.
Yeah.
I also thought there was some room for more of your originality in the section where you said more examples of what you mean by we do it to ourselves, we create the interruptions.
Okay.
You can give a couple of examples, and the one you gave I thought was not so compelling and different
Kind
or
of,
whatever,
kind of
but
common. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. great on the statistics, not too much, just a couple, very powerful instead of a bunch, really good. And yeah, I just think your talk is a great example of the weaving, of introducing something early, bringing it back later, planting a few seeds that you harvest over here by recalling them and tying them, and that comes from really good writing.
Yeah,
That doesn't just pop out, so good job.
right. It doesn't happen like 30 minutes before. I do think that that's our time. I want to make sure we have time for Kevin to come up and talk with folks. So,
Okay.
but thank you guys very much.
So thanks for allowing me this privilege of being here with you today and just spending the time